On the last episode.
Hey, you're that robot guy, right?
I myself am not a robot guy, per se.
Nerd.
We're trying to find Captain Quark. We thought you could help us.
Say, do you run on standard XP18 sister boards?
Version 7.66.
Back at ya.
Upgrade.
I'll just need my fee for service. Okay, this won't hurt a bit.
Hey, wait, Ratchet. Am I cool now?
Yeah, you the man, Clank.
Greetings, Executive Chairman Drek. I don't take disappointment well.
Drek is destroying yet another planet.
Look, that lieutenant doesn't seem so tough. Let's take him out ourselves.
Welcome to the Captain Quark Fitness Course. Quark Enterprises is not responsible for sprains, broken bones, snapped tendons, bruised egos, or accidental death incurred while taking the challenge.
Clank,
Yes?
do you notice anything unusual about Captain Quark? This isn't the real Captain Quark, you numbskull. It's a robot.
Oh.
Listen up, you loudballs!
What do you mean?
When I was competing, I would devour courses like that for breakfast!
Bet that's not all.
Captain Quark knows about us?
He certainly does.
Sweet. I bet Captain Quark uses stuff like this all the time.
Ha! Real men can swing without silly toys like that!
It's him, Skid McMarks.
If you can take out all the sand sharks, I just might have a spare hoverboard for you. Here, man, catch.
A brand new Z3000. You can't even buy these.
Well, I got a bail. Catch you dudes at the hoverboard races.
And so it continues. Man, even with my new computer, it kind of goes to show just, how emulators work. Even with my new computer, I'm still fucking lagging. Hopefully it's not coming through on the recording so much. But I don't have like an Elgato or anything, and even if I did, my old PlayStation 2, I don't have a controller for it. My last controller crapped out, finally, after so many years of abuse. And getting a new controller for a PlayStation 2 is pretty much impossible. Unless you want to buy off-brand, in which case the controllers don't work half the time anyway, so... So unfortunately, you guys are just going to put up with a little bit of lag that I experience. So this section right here is why we went to the other planet first. This section is required in order to progress the game, and you can't do it without the swing shot, so it's just better to go to the other planet first. You can come here first if you really wanted to, but again, you'll have to like make a return trip if you come here first, which is, I want to do as little backtracking as possible. The only backtracking I'm really going to do is when it's absolutely required, which I think there's one planet where that's a thing. And so either when it's required or when I'm trying to go back to collect gold bolts that I couldn't earlier. Like there's already a planet we're going to have to return to much later on in the game. Because there's a gold bolt that we just simply cannot access until we have a specific gadget for it. So these red crates are pretty good because they drop more bolts than regular crates on average, as you can see. They drop like 25 bolts compared to the regular like 6 or 7. So these red crates are pretty good. If you are in the blast radius when they explode, they will do damage to you. And there's one other crate type that drops bolts, which we won't get to for another couple of planets still. But they're armored crates. They're blue, and you can only destroy armor crates with explosions. So if there's red crates nearby, they can destroy the blue crates. Jesus, I did not mean to go like that. I didn't know you can skip like half the... That's kind of interesting. Anyways, there's a skill point that you can get there by not touching the ground when you go through that area, but for whatever reason the game's being fucky. Yeah, so armor crates can only be destroyed by explosions, so red crates will destroy them, and also, luckily, we have the bomb glove, and the bomb glove is explosions, so the bomb glove can destroy blue crates. So this right here is why we went to the other planet first. So we can swing shot and get this gadget. And this gadget is a requirement to progress through the next planet. So it's pretty much the name of the game, is constantly getting gadgets to unlock the next section of a different planet. This gadget's kind of fun. I really enjoy these puzzles. When I was younger, I hated these puzzles because I just, for whatever reason, I couldn't understand how they worked. But now that I'm older, they're pretty fun. It's unfortunate that there isn't really a lot of them. And then, for whatever reason, in the remakes, they got rid of this gadget, or they changed how it worked, or something like that, which is just unfortunate, really, because these puzzles are pretty fun. Oh, look at that, we hit 10,000 bolts. Incredible. The biggest problem is that, yes, we hit 10,000 volts, but actually I think we're good. I don't think we have to buy anything for quite a while. Ow. So I think we'll be good at 10,000. But this game, how many planets does it have? I think it has like 14 planets in total, not including your starting planet. Or, yeah, 14 or 15 in total, 15 including the starting planet. And so we've already been through, this is the fourth one. So 4 out of 15. We're almost done a third of the planets in the entire game, and we only have 10,000 volts. Okay, and when you see how much the ultimate mega weapon costs, you begin to wonder how they ever expected you to buy that ultimate mega weapon in your first run through of the game. There we go, I think that's all the gold bolts on this planet. So we won't have to return here, thankfully. Oh no, never mind, there is one more we have to get here. We will have to return. God damn it.
No signal whatsoever. This
This downtime is killing me.
Do you need medical attention, sir?
Don't be so literal, son. The problem is I'm stranded on this backwater planet and my star client is nowhere to be found.
Hey, we saw you on that info bot. You're Skid's agent.
Was Skid's agent. Haven't seen him since our ship crashed. And an agent without a client is like a flea without a dog. Say, you look like an athletic kid. If you can bring back the championship prize from the hoverboard races in Blackwater City, I'll make you my next star.
We have no time for trivial matters, sir.
I could be the next Skid McMarks.
I love it. He's like, this downtime is killing me. Clank's like, do you need help, sir? Do you need medical attention? He's like, don't be so literal. So good, man. It's so good. Even the corny stuff is just perfect. Mwah. So good. Okay, so far we've been rocking with 2 weapons. We've had the bomb glove and the blaster. This planet we're going to get our 3rd weapon. Luckily it's free, so that's why we're grabbing it.
Yes, quite lovely. That should just about do it. Commander, we are finished with this world. Commence towing our planet to its next destination. Lieutenant!
Yes, sir.
You have fulfilled your tree quota. Barely.
We are ready to return to base.
Not so fast, Lieutenant. Just because we don't need any more trees doesn't mean they should have them. Destroy everything.
So Drac wants to destroy the entire planet. Again, goes to show how evil the dude actually is. But yeah, the free weapon we get on this planet, it's not very good, hence why it's free. But there is a couple of places in particular where we are going to make use of the weapon to great effect. The next planet after this one is a prime example of that. And then there's one other planet way later on where this free weapon's going to be pretty good for us. This free weapon, by the way, is the weapon I was talking about where if a bolt is too far away for you to grab, you can use the weapon to grab it. Obviously, you probably just use the wrench, but... Yeah, so you might have just noticed there is friendly fire in this game. There is legitimate strategies for certain enemies in this game where you can just get them to hit each other. It is a viable thing to do. There are some instances where like enemies will on purpose target each other because they're like opposing factions, or like, you know, we'll see that in a couple planets where there's some enemies that will literally just attack each other because they hate each other. You know, it's kind of neat. Just little things like that makes the game have so much charm to it, you know. Because again, they didn't need to add the ability for enemies to have friendly fire, but they did, so it's pretty cool. So once we get this free weapon, it should be the 3 weapons we have for the entire game, like I said. There is one other free weapon way later on that we can grab. It kind of sucks butthole too. Like the fourth weapon, the second free one, is actually so bad that we are not going to use it, even though we will pick it up just because, you know, it'll be our 4th weapon. It gives us options, if nothing else. But it's so bad that we probably won't even use it. But there is another weapon which we can buy from the weapon vendor. Although it's 10,000 bolts. So right now it would already be basically everything that we have in order to buy it. We won't get it for a couple planets yet, but I think I should bring it up because that weapon that costs 10,000 bolts, that weapon can single-handedly carry you for the rest of the game. So it's just something to keep in mind, is that if I ever at some point feel like I won't be able to buy the super ultimate mega weapon by the time we beat the game, I'll probably end up just picking up that weapon because it's just so strong. But the reason why I'm gonna forego it is because it's very overpowered, but it's not like required. As long as you have the blaster, you should be fine for the entire game. And it's 10,000 volts, which is, you know, it's quite a lot, all things considered. Also, something I want you guys to keep in mind, listen to the sound this guy makes when he dies. That sound right there. If I ever do end up playing the other games in the Ratchet and Clank series, if we ever get to Ratchet and Clank Deadlocked, that's the exact same sound that Captain Starshield makes when he dies. I kid you not, it's exactly the same. I'll try, like if I remember, I'll try and point it out when it happens. But it's just interesting that Ratchet and Clank Deadlock came out like 4 years after this one, and they reused that death sound. Just randomly that enemy for no reason at all. They just reused that sound. And these enemies, they're the only enemies in the game that are like that. These like giant red enemies. They're the only time we're gonna see these enemies in particular, and there's only like 5 of them in total that you can beat. And so it's the only time you get to hear them make that sound. So it's just weird. so here's our free weapon.
Sweet.
The suck cannon. It does this. It sucks. Literally and figuratively, it sucks. The suck cannon does make a return in future games of the franchise, but for now all it does is this. It can suck up small enemies. It can't suck up large enemies. It can only suck up small enemies, and then you can fire them. So you suck up a group of small enemies like that. You see the bar on the side fills up. That's how much ammo you have, and you can shoot them out. As soon as you suck up an enemy, you can't continue to suck. Like, okay, so if I hold down the thing like this and I suck up an enemy, if I continue to hold down the fire button, then I can keep sucking up enemies until the bar is full. But if I suck up an enemy and stop holding down the fire button, then I can't continue to suck up enemies until I fire every last shot that I have. So it's really wonky to kind of use, and the suck cannon in future games is actually better than this one because you can suck up crates in those games, and in this game, for whatever reason, you can't suck up crates. So if you look over there, I can't suck up these crates, which is a shame because it just makes the weapon harder to use. But it also can suck up bolts from far away too, as I mentioned, as you probably saw there when I was walking up to this gate. Which is, I mean, it is what it is, you know. But there is certain areas where there's tons of small enemies that can get a little annoying, and the suck cannon just is really good for them. Like, for example, the last planet when I was killing those sand sharks, if I had the suck cannon for them, it would be way easier and I would have gotten close to dying. But the sand sharks aren't too much of a threat. There are other enemies, like on the next planet, that they are more of a threat just because of the range of their attack. And just simply because there's so many of them all at once.
You sure showed him.
I suppose I did.
Is your current occupation leaving a rotten taste in your mouth? Then you need to know about BTS, Blog Tactical Research Station. Hi, I'm Supreme Executive Chairman Drek, and we here at BTS are seeking motivated individuals to fill positions in these exciting careers. Grind boot tester, warhead assembly technician, mutant animal husbandry, robot repairman, suck cannon test dummy, and administrative assistant. So call BTS. Build our weapons while you build your future.
I'm calling BTS today.
Now we're talking. Did you see all the cool gadgets they're making? Let's go get some.
No, we must continue our search for Captain Quark.
You're absolutely right.
I am?
Sure. We need to find Quark. Although when we find him, wouldn't it be nice to be able to tell him where Chairman Drek is?
I suppose.
Well, we go to the space station and talk to the scientists. They work for Drek, so they're bound to know where he is.
I am unsure about your logic.
Ah, you think too much. Come on, let's go.
So I'm not sure what was up with the lieutenant there. I'm pretty certain that they had planned for like a fight to happen between you and the lieutenant at this point in the game. But maybe whether it's like for time crunch reasons or whatever, it's just you show up, you do like a stance, and then he runs away and you never see him again. It's one of the few things that in the remake they address, and I think they do well, is that they give the lieutenant like an actual reason to exist, which I think is kind of cool. But then again, while yes, it is cool that they give him a reason to exist, they kind of overuse him in the remakes, which is a little annoying. So it's like one step forward, two steps back with the remake. BTS. It should be called BTRS, you know, Blog Tactical Research Station. So this is the first planet that we visit that's not really my favorite. And it just comes back to being a kid playing this game, because there's just certain sections here that give me a lot of stress. This is also the first planet where we have enemies that counter. So when you damage these specific enemies on this planet, they have a counter attack, so they'll take damage and then they'll counter immediately. So it's the first time where, like, if you're using a melee weapon like the wrench, you'll pretty much guarantee take damage if you're trying to use it when fighting them. So it's where the blaster comes in handy. And this section right here in particular is why I used to hate this planet as a kid. It's required to do this section, and yeah, you'll just see in a little bit why. Because, you know, as a kid, you have to keep in mind, like, we're talking like 4 or 5 years old. Yeah, so stuff like this gets pretty stressful. Yeah, so you get to see the suck cannon in action. These little, like, frog enemies that I suck up in the cannon. Like, usually they're not really that big of a deal, but, like, they have kind of a large attack range to them. They'll attack you from, like, deceivingly far away, so using the suck cannon to just instantly kill them it's just, you know, it's nice. Okay, so these are the enemies here that have the counter to them. So you'll see when I shoot this guy, he, like, does a forward attack, so if I were to hit him with my wrench there, I would have taken damage there. But luckily, the blaster is kind of powerful. We also get to see blue armored crates for the first time, these ones here. Whenever you see these crates, you should think, cha-ching, that's a lot of bolts, because they drop a lot of bolts. So yeah, there's not many armored crates in the game, but there is a few. So this is the part that was stressful as a kid.
Thank you for selecting our automated self-destruct feature. Vessel annihilation sequence initiated. Please remove all personal belongings.
And there's a time limit. Wow. Obviously, as, like, an adult, this is not really that big of a deal. Okay, maybe I should have used the bomb glove there.
This whole place is about to explode. Really?
They give you 45 seconds to get out, so it's not really, you know, that stressful, but as a kid, it certainly seems like, you know, time crunch. Not to mention they throw those counter enemies at you there, so.
This is Darla Gratch reporting live from Blackwater City.
We've just learned that Captain Quark will be presenting the grand prize at the Intergalactic Hoverboard Championship, which will be held here over the next few days. In related news, this planet has recently been suffering from an infestation of strange amoeboid creatures. The city's administration has assured this reporter that every step has been taken to eradicate these nuisances.
Darla Gratch, Channel 2 News.
Did you see that?
Yes, I hope that poor woman is all right.
She's fine, I think. I was talking about the hoverboard races.